Here's Nikki and Rosie on their way round to meet us at this top yard. Those of you that follow us or have done for a long time, they'll know that we've got the two quiet yards where we use all the fields and everything. And they're sort of like, I don't know, half a mile apart. So Nick's been down, tacked up, and as you can see, Rosie on her way up here quite happily on her own, and her and Kyle are going for some massive 2-hour hack over to the equestrian centre. So I am going to follow them on the car, in the car, and bring you some footage. Right gang, so as you can see now, Nick's met up with Kyle. Kyle was waiting at the top yard and off they've gone. Now ready for our long hack, long hack, over to the other yard where we have all the fantastic facilities. Many of you will see all the videos there that we do. Rosie has had her videos there. You will see that there's videos of Nick riding her. There's also videos of Jess, my little niece, riding her. She's been home to do the videos in the field, so it's great really, because we have the luxury of all angles really. And you know, we do a lot with these horses. We ride them indoor schools, outdoor schools, show jumps. We've took her home and done all the riding in the field, in the open space, over the show jumps, over the cross-country jumps. We obviously do a lot of hacking here. All our horses hack mostly. The schooling and the jumping we literally just do on the videos, as you can see. All of the work is pretty much hacking. If I'm hacking out, I do some clips, but you know, I mainly post them on the Instagram story. So you'll obviously be watching this on YouTube. We do have the Facebook page, but the sort of stories and the little snippets of what we're doing, you know, when we are sort of just riding, you know, hacking out and whatever, I always post them on the story. So I do sort of say to people that it is a really good idea if you are on Instagram to get on Instagram and to add us. A lot of people are a bit like, oh, I can't do Instagram, I just can't do it. It's really easy. There's nothing to do other than to view really. So as I say, that's just a general comment with all the horses. So Rick's going over there for a few days because he's just gonna do a bit of jumping and just getting ready to get out to a show really. So he's fit now. He's fat, but he's fit, fittish, and he's been jumping at home in the field. But you know, the ground is quite hard because obviously we have had some dry weather, and it's by all accounts going to have a little heat wave. So the ground is obviously going to get harder, certainly stay hard anyway. So the jumping horses, we wouldn't, you know, our show jumpers, we wouldn't tend to sort of do too much in the field. So we could easily load up and take them over to the other yard, but we decided it will kill two birds with one stone. Do you know what? I hate that saying, kill two birds with one stone. It's actually a horrible saying. Yeah, I'm going to try not to use that. If you just think of the concept of it really, kill two birds with one stone. Anyway, okay, so whatever else we can say, but anyway, we are maximising our opportunities, let's say, by getting the horses worked. I don't know if I've already said this, but it's probably around 7 or 8 miles, so it's quite a long way. So we'll probably have we're definitely going to have a tired Rosie, maybe a tired Rick. As I say, he's quite fit. Definitely a tired Kyle. He's actually not very well, guys, and you know, as you all know, this man flu is really bad. You know, us women luckily don't ever have to deal with it, but man flu's terrible. So he was off work yesterday, and he wasn't overly impressed with the job list today when it involved hacking out for 7 or 8 miles, but he's quite happy that he's on his own horse. The bond that he's got with this horse is just unreal. It is. So as I say, it's a long hack over. I'm following them mainly not to keep them safe, to be fair, because both of these two are really good to hack, although it's not ideal hacking going over there, guys. We've got windy country lanes, then we go through a little village with a lot going on, which is actually really good for video purposes, to be fair. Then they have to cross quite a bad junction, go through some really more windy lanes, and then a really awful main road. I mean, no, there is no horse riders that ride down this main road, and I would definitely always, doesn't matter how good the horses are, I will always follow in the car, hazards on, slowing any traffic down. Yeah, it's a notorious bad road. Actually, my granddad sadly lost his life on that road. Not that you need to know that on the video. It was before I was born. It was actually when my mum was a baby. So many years ago. I won't give my mum's age away, but yeah, many years ago. And the road's still not improved. It's still very dangerous. So we would certainly never ever take horses down that we don't 100% trust. And even then it isn't you know, ideal. So we will make it as safe as possible. We will always stay in 2 or more on this ride, because it's way too far, or too many hazards to be on your own. Doesn't matter how good you are as a rider, how good your horse is, we'll not be doing it on our own. So these will come on sort of snippets. You know, I'm not going to video for 2 hours or however long it's going to take them. So I'll catch you soon. Do you know what, guys? I just want to video this little bit. Sorry, just trying to clear my windscreen. It's very cloudy here at the minute, and not the best visibility, but the view when we're hacking here is just amazing. Let me just see if we can catch it. Not that you're watching this to see the view, but you know, we do have some really nice hacking. Having said that, we do have some quite fast roads to go on. You know, these roads are, the traffic does come quite quickly. But what I like about these videos, and I hope you guys like it too, if you just watch the body language of both riders. Kyle obviously has to check his phone 24/7. Very relaxed. They're obviously chatting away, just hacking along nice and easily, riding as a pair. When you hack out, you know, on your own horses, you're going out with your friend or whatever, this is exactly what you do, isn't it? You do just chill, chat, relax, just hack along. And you know, I think when you're out there looking for a horse and you go to try horses or whatever, you have your 20 minutes riding them in the school. If you're lucky, you do a little ride out the gate, but you never actually see this sort of full size side of them. So I think if I was a buyer, I would find these really beneficial, even though you're just seeing 2 horses wandering down the road. Maybe it's because I've done how many years of buying horses and selling them, that you just sort of get like a bit of almost like a subconscious what's the word, like you subconsciously visual of lots of things. So I want to look at how the ride, not just what the horse is doing. People tend to look at the horse's on videos and obviously focus on the horse, which is you know, it's understandable. You're looking to buy the horse, you want to watch the horse, you're not bothered, you're not buying the rider. But I personally like to look at the rider's body language as well. And I don't know if I can just scroll in a little bit there. They're obviously having a good conversation, using their hands as well when they're conversating. Do you know what? One of these days I'm going to ban that phone off Kyle. But like Nikki's using her, Nikki's definitely one-handed on a rein, so you can see that her left hand is not on a rein at all. And poor Rosie, you know, she's got to keep up with Rick. Rick's a big warm blood, guys, and he might look like he's just mooching along, which he is, but he actually really walks quite quick. So Rosie's got 8 miles of power walking, but look at Nick's left hand just hanging down. I mean, totally relaxed riders, totally relaxed horses. Actually, look, there you go, there's a little bit of the view. It's much nicer when we're not so overcast. Look, Kyle did tell me how can he get better when he's riding in this drizzly rain. Apparently it makes man flu so much worse. So again, as I say, just a tip for everybody, if they're looking at this just because they want to watch it, or they're looking at Rosie specifically, or you know, you just take that little tip moving forward at some point in life looking for horses. Always watch the riders, and the, you know, again, not just the rider. We do a lot of videos sort of the tacking up and all the rest of it. Watch their body language as well. It does tell you a lot. It really does. Also, just to let you know, Rosie at our yard that she's just come from, she's currently out 24/7 in a small herd of 3 mares plus Rosie and 2 geldings. 3 mares, but yeah, six of them. So 4 mares, 2 geldings, including Rosie, and they are out 24/7. Nick's just gone down into the fields. They're on about I don't know, 8-acre field, and you can just go in and catch Rosie, not a problem at all. Just go in and catch her. We tend to keep a supply of carrots through summer, especially because when they're out 24/7, they're only coming in for work, and they do very quickly associate seeing us guys with knowing they've got to do some work. So we always take them a carrot, but to be fair, Rosie's dead easy to catch. Oh, Rick's having a little sprick at the sign. Do you know what, guys? I just turned this off, and then I saw this lorry coming, and I thought, oh, quickly, let me just video that. And if you notice that Rose is on the outside as well, so very close to that lorry, very close, and her and Rick happily walking past. So I was just switching that off. What I will do periodically through this, I'm not going to keep saying like, oh, bye, and then hello, I went to the next clip. When I've sort of videoed pretty much what we're looking at, I will just click the video off and then reopen it, and I hope that I'm not going to repeat myself of what I'm saying, but if I do, I'll apologise now. I really hope Rick's tail grows a little bit. Kyle's just gone mad because I've trimmed it because it was all wispy at the bottom, and he's just said, Mom, you've cut his whole tail off. And now looking at it, I have, haven't I? I said to him, no, I haven't, that's okay. But I actually have. That is terrible. But it was all wispy at the bottom. I don't actually know where he's lost his tail. I don't know. I don't know if Dusty the donkey has chewed it. Oh gosh, who knows? But yeah, I have definitely given him a bit of a haircut there. I think it's made worse by looking at Rosie's fantastic long bushy tail. She's a real looker, actually. Rosie is a real looker. Blagdon cob. She's a really good size. I keep saying I'm gonna reorder a measuring stick, and I never do it. But she's got to be 15 hands or thereabouts. She is substantial. I mean, look at her next to Rick, and Rick's a good 16 too, maybe a bit bigger, and just look at them. I'll do a little zoom in. Yeah, she's a good size cob. She is, and she's good because she's substantial. But she's not overly wide. So you know yourself when you're sitting on these very, very broad cobs. But she's not sort of, you know, she's comfortable to sit on, but at the same time she's substantial and takes up the leg. So she is a very good size. And you know, she does everything this cob does. She absolutely does. She rides really well on the flat. She's got a super canter, really nice and balanced, collected canter, very well educated on the flat, works in an outline. She's super to look at. She's not sharp, she's not spooky, but she's forward enough to do the job, but at the same time she's not overly forward. She'll take a novice, but you know, she's not the sort, if you lose your balance or lost your stirrup or whatever, she's not sensitive and shoot off or anything like that. She's really, really good like that, really good, and loves the jumping, jumps around everything, doesn't bother looking at anything. She jumped fantastic yesterday in the field. I still haven't put the video on, but I'm hoping by the time I post this video that I have done the video. I just get a backlog of videos on my phone, but I'm out all day now on the yard with the horses, either riding her own or obviously videoing, assessing, all of that. And then when I get home, yeah, the evenings seem to run away with you. I'm trying not to sort of live and breathe this from the minute I open my eyes to the minute I go to sleep. I try and have a little bit of time, you know, walk the dogs, go to the gym, whatever, just a bit of time away from my phone. I just seem to be on the phone 24/7, and it does get a bit much. I have got to try and find a work home sort of balance, really. So sometimes it ends up that the videos sit on my phone for days before I actually post them up on the YouTube. So they are on there, and if I haven't posted it on by the time I've posted this, I will definitely do within the next 24 hours. Okay. Right, so we're just coming into the little village, the first smallish village, and we are 3 miles into the ride, and it's quite an incline up through here. So but let's just give props here to our little Rosie. If you look at Nick's legs, I don't know if you can see, it's moving about a bit, the camera, but they're not having to actually work too hard, and she is a good 3 miles in. So obviously Rick is your sporty breed. You know, he's going to find it, always going to find it easier, but it's nice to hack out on. And again, look, body language, definitely not having to do much in the way of I don't know what's the word. It's the horses are making the riders' jobs easy, let's put it that way. Still just chatting away, doing their own thing, completely relaxed, you know, what a happy hack should be. So this is a really steep, we've got a pony here galloping up on the right, absolutely galloping up. You obviously can't see it, it might be at the gate here by the time we get there. I don't know, it was running up and down the hedgerow anyway. Obviously those things you can't see on here, but I can. Quad. You know, just sometimes it's an unusual bit of traffic. It's good to see the horses with. And as I say, you know, we're coming uphill now, and Rosie is doing really well. She's keeping up with Rick, and she's not, you know, she's not like, you've not got to keep nagging her. She's quite happily taking Nick. As I say, she's very quiet, and you know, you've seen that Nick's pretty much been one-handed a lot of the way. But you know, I like to hack out on a horse that is taking you. But I appreciate that obviously Rosie's type and the home that Rosie's going to be looking for doesn't necessarily want a cob that's sort of pulling and wanting to stay at the front and very, very forward going. She's not that, but at the same time, you know, she's forward enough to do the job, as I've said earlier on the video. Definitely forward enough to do the job and to do any job, hacking, dressage, jumping, fun rides, whatever. I really, really, really highly recommend this horse. That's probably not the best English. Really, really highly, but you know, you get the gist. I highly, highly recommend this mare. We have found her to be fantastic. I've trusted her implicitly to let my niece ride her and have a lesson on her, not just do that, to jump her. And not just that, again, bearing in mind what I've just said about body language, go back on and look at those videos. Oh, and it's bin day today, which always makes for a great hack when the wheelie bins are out 24/7. How many horses spook at wheelie bins? There is plenty of them. Rick doing a bit of rubbernecking there away from the wheelie bin, and on the left the bin man is dragging the wheelie bin. Neither horses are reacting. Yeah, Rick likes to do his little neck turn, but you know, absolutely. Sorry guys, call just come through, cut me short there. Yeah, we're only 2 seconds from the bin lorry, but as you see, no reaction from Rosie. So I think that was good. Little video up there through the village, trotting up past, like I say, all the wheelie bins and the actual dustpan man. That hill trot may have taken a bit out of Rosie though, bless her. It may well have done. Just a little frontward for you guys. I just drove ahead a little bit because I was holding loads of traffic up and there was not a lot to see down that lane. So we're probably 5 miles or so in. And Rosie's still going strong. Slick Rick. I know. I was just saying on the video he's fit, but he's fat and fit. Happy horses guys, happy riders, doing well. Right guys, we're coming now into the busier village. We are still 5 miles in. We haven't got to the 6 mile mark yet. I'm just clocking it on my car. So yeah, they've done a big chunk of it. I wonder if it's even more than 7 or 8 miles, to be fair. It might be. Oh well, that's what I told them it was. We'll soon see. So as I say, we're coming into the busier part now. I've got Rick leading. I mean, Rick's not always, do you know what, he's really good to hack Rick because Kyle just hacks him everywhere on his own. He is good, but he's good in the traffic and all that, but he can just have a little look at things. And I can see that Rosie's walk is not quite as quick now. Rick obviously just got a big stride and he's naturally quite a quick walker, so Rosie's still having to work quite hard, bless her, to keep up. And you know, they see that motorbike come quick round the corner. Not that it was the motorbike's fault, guys, obviously didn't know the horses were there, but you know, I'm loving the non-reaction from the horses. Right, I'm just going to come off the phone for 1 second. Right, so we're on the main road coming towards the busier little village. I will try and video as much as I can. Obviously I have to bear in mind, guys, I have to stay safe myself. Nick now finding it important to definitely match Rick's walk, because when they are coming through busy places like this, it is always best to ride double, and then each horse will help the other one out if there's something that they having a look at or they don't like. As you see that Rick just had a little look at the scaffolding because he was next to it, but to be fair, Rosie was acted as a bit of a buffer, and as you can see here, he to be fair, he bumped into her. Rosie stayed solid. So this is where it's good when you're working you know, with two of you, because as you can see yourself, these horses are fantastic to hack. Oh, this is the quietest I've seen this village. Normally there's all parked cars down here and you've got to go around them. But as I was saying, you know, the absolute best of horses, they can be the most competent of riders. You do tend to sometimes need the other one. One of the most common questions I get asked, especially sort of for, well, do you know what? Actually, all of the horses, not even a particular type, but one of the most common questions is, do they hack alone? It's always so hard for me to answer these questions because, well, yes, the answer is yes. You will see us videoing our horses hacking alone. If for any reason the horses will not hack alone, I will tell you. But you will see our horses hacking alone. So the answer is in the video, really. The proof of the pudding's in the eating. Yes, they hack alone. The next, the question is then usually followed up by the sentence of, you know, sometimes I'm not overly confident, I get nervous, or I lack confidence until I get to know the horse. Will they happily go out alone? That's where the tricky bit comes, because every horse, I don't care how good they are, will at some point hacking out come across something where they need some guidance from their rider. Now this will especially happen when the horse is new, when they're building a relationship with their new owner, rider, where they are settling into a new place, all of the rest of it. They can absolutely lack confidence, or even sometimes just try it on, to be honest. You know, try their rider out. Sometimes it's easier not to hack out, you know, for the horses to think, oh, it's easier for me not to go than to go. Doesn't mean that the horse doesn't hack alone, doesn't mean that the horse isn't good to hack alone. It just means it's a horse. He or she is a horse. They're just going to pull in now to let some of the traffic past. So I'm just going to pick this conversation up in a second. Right guys, I've just drove ahead of them and pulled in, and look at this for a bit of clever videoing. I am videoing them coming towards us through my wing mirror, and I've never done that before. Very good. But yeah, because we were holding up the traffic through there, Kyle is always so considerate of the traffic. He actually is, to be fair, and he's very conscious of holding traffic up. So when Kyle's hacking out, he'll always be pulling over, you know, more so when we're sort of videoing.
Why are you using the mirror?
Isn't it good?
No.
It is. Kyle clocked what I was doing. I thought it was quite clever. But yeah, so we'd pulled over there just to let the traffic past. I'll just wind my window up so we haven't got too much background noise. Now, before I just come off the phone, off the video, off the camera, then I was just talking about the hacking alone. I'm going to just come back to that in a second, because I don't want to take your concentration off what you're looking at through this part of the hack, and I also don't want you to miss out what I was saying. So I'm not going to give you too much going on in one go. So like I say, you can see that this is the busier part. Now they are waving past the huge lorry. Oh, no reaction again. I love it. You have to notice that the riders didn't react either. That's a big clue in a lot of, do you know what, horse riding in general. Horse riders need to know when to react, how to react, and when not to react. That's a big lesson. We are thinking of doing some sort of videos like this, some educational videos, some tips, some demonstrations. It is something that is on the agenda. Rick has to spook at the bin and the bus stop. Welcome to Rick's world. I mean, he's not doing much, but that's horses for you. But if you notice, Kyle, he let him sort of just, the horse, have a look and take it in, and then asked him to walk on. Right, just bear with. Okay, so we are safely through the village with very little to see really, other than well-behaved horses. Now, just going back to what I was saying, a real quick recap. The most common question is, do they hack alone? The answer is in our videos. You can see them out hacking alone. There you go. I don't need to answer it. It is there for you to see. Often followed up by, kids are playing in the playground. Oh, bless them, they're all running up to see the horses. Rick making a spectacle of himself. Can't possibly walk over the road markings, show jumps, fillers, not a problem. Road markings, that's a definite no. Now, as I was saying, that question is often followed up by a rider sometimes lacks confidence, especially with a horse they don't know. But will the horse be okay? Well, do you know what? Probably not is the answer. Probably not. Does it mean that the horse doesn't hack alone? No. Does it mean that you've been missold a horse? Absolutely not. Does it mean that the horse is alive with feelings? Yes. And do you know what? That's probably a bit blunt, and I certainly don't want it to come across as rude or patronising at all. So if it did, that isn't my intention. As I'm saying, and as I always say, that horses, the best of horses, they do need some guidance from time to time with their riders, and also more so. Okay, sorry that's just cut me. When calls come through on this phone, it cuts the video off, and obviously I can't just turn the call thing off, because I've been following these for, we are now coming on to the 7th mile, so that takes a long time. Not quite sure where it cut me off, because I've just had another conversation, so it makes my mind go blank. But we were talking about the hacking alone. So as I was saying, that it doesn't matter how good the horses are, they will need times where they need some reassurance or some guidance from their rider. If you are not confident enough to do this, then, and that can be where a problem can start. and then you suddenly end up with a horse that does hack alone to a horse that struggles to hack alone. And that can happen literally within 2 rides, guys. It absolutely can. I've seen it a million times. Do you know what? It's the most common thing in my job, really. And this is not talking about any of the horses on the video there. Oh, Rick, it's a grid. He must have just ridden past 1,000 grids coming this far, 7 miles, but no, that one's too spooky. So yeah, so what my advice always is for those, because you know, doesn't mean that those are nervous can never hack alone or can never have a new horse. That isn't what I'm saying. But what I am saying is what you need to do is spend the first 6 weeks hacking in company until you're completely comfortable with your horse. You get to know your horse's likes, dislikes, reactions, and you build up a bond, and obviously the horse has some settling in time. So that would always be my advice to anybody looking at any horse who would like to be able to go on and hack alone, and eventually. So I'm going to come off the camera again now because we're going to be on the lanes, and I'm going to meet these up at the very bad main road. Right guys, so it's definitely longer because we're now on 8 miles coming up to 9 miles, so a bit longer than your average midweek hack, you know. But anyway, we are approaching the last leg of the journey. Thank gosh for them. Horses seem to be, hang on, let me get rid of the background noise. Seem to be enjoying it and as happy as Larry again. This is that awful road that I was talking about at the beginning of the video. So this is the road where we are. I will stay behind them. And it actually looks, on this video here, it doesn't look to be a bad road at all, but honestly, what it is, it's a really long straight road. Obviously you can't see because you can just see the horses in front of you, but a long straight road with clear vision, so you do get some very fast traffic on here. So as I've brought you quite a few snippets now of the whole journey over here. We are now 1 o'clock and they left at 11:15. So it probably is getting on for a 2-hour ride, isn't it? Oh, here we go. Tractor past. I know that's another big popular question. What are they like with tractors? Because a lot of our videos, we don't tend to catch the tractors on there. It's not to say we don't see them, guys, we do. It's just, you know, when we're doing a sort of a short hacking video, we don't necessarily always get a tractor, but we do always get tractors when we're hacking out in general. As I was saying at the beginning, if you go onto our Instagram story, you'll quite often see those. But anyway, as you can see, perfectly good with a tractor. Not only a tractor, you've got the trailer on the back as well. So, do you know, I've had lots of interest in our lovely, lovely Rosie. A few people have said that she is over budget. Now, she is midway through the Blue Heart range. Those of you who aren't familiar with the heart charts, just message me. If you're sort of asking on Facebook as a comment, this is why I do disable a lot of the comments, because when people continually ask how much, that flags up my post to Facebook, and it obviously, even though I am within the guidelines, oh look at Nick, that is what you call relaxed. Even though I do meet the community guidelines, you know, we are a registered business, we have a website, blah 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 blah. It's obviously whatever the technical term is, but it is that Kyle would tell me, but I don't know, the bots within the internet that flag up posts. And so when people continually asking how much blah blah blah, it then I get a warning off Facebook. So try where you can just to message me, guys, but you know, I do try and refer to the heart chart as much as possible. That is on our Instagram page. I can't post it on Facebook for those reasons I've just explained, but she is midway through the blue heart, and as I say, she has been over budget for some people, and I totally understand. You know, not all of us have, well, I say not all of us, I definitely haven't, definitely through recent times anyway, but that's a whole nother story. But you know, most of us haven't got unlimited amounts of money to buy horses and all the rest of it. And the current market, and has been since COVID, is just, the inflation is massive. However, I do think it is very slightly settling, very slightly, but horses are never going to drop down to what they used to. Never. They're just not. Nor do I think they should really, but you know, there is some seriously overpriced horses out there. There is no doubt about that. I do not believe for 1 second that Rosie is not worth every penny, and to be honest, more. When I look on the other sort of traders and private as well, you would not pick this mare up for the price I'm asking. You just wouldn't. And if you knew her, guys, if you knew her, and hopefully you have got to know her since all these videos that I'm doing, and you've certainly got to know her somewhat anyway, that you will totally agree. I go back to what I just said earlier. I cannot recommend this horse enough. I just can't. And if I could buy her every week, my life would be very, very easy. Very easy. She's a perfect size. She's 10 years old, fantastic age. She comes from private home, lovely, lovely home. I've got a reference from there where she qualified all sorts of stuff. She went out and about and did her bits of dressage and different stuff. In fact, as I said, there is quite a lot to that she's been and done. She did her job so well. She just did it so well that her family actually moved on up to a competition sort of sporty type. So it's a shame when that happens. I totally understand. Absolutely. You know, not everybody can have more than one horse, and obviously many people within their riding career would like to progress. That I understand, you know, but from Rosie's point of view, when she does her job so well, you end up doing yourself out of a home. But it's hard to find these cobs. I mean, so many people say to me, oh, I only want a gelding, and again, personal preference, I get it, but this horse is not marish at all. She's absolutely not. She's been so easy to deal with. You don't even know you've got her. We can ride her every day, or we can just pull her out once a week, and she's no different. She's been no different at all. And all of our sort of descriptions with the horses are all backed up with videos, all of them. So, you know, don't take my word for any of this, guys. Just go and watch all the videos. I mean, you need to give yourself a couple of hours to sit there and to really watch the videos. But if you think about it, by the time you've travelled to go and to see horses and travel back, it's more than a couple of hours out of your time. Oh, Nick's back must be aching now. So yeah, it is more than a couple of hours out your time, guys. And I just say to people, please watch the videos and watch them again if you need to, and listen to the voiceover. Obviously when I'm not talking, I've got music on them, but you know, there's so many videos there for you to see that really, that all those videos should answer most of your questions, to be honest. It should. And as I was saying, I just can't recommend a horse enough. You know, she's suitable for numerous type of homes. We could go and load her up and take her around a cross country course tomorrow. We could take her and jump a clear round or a little show. We could take her and do a dressage test. You could load her up and take her to the beach. She's really good to load and travel. You can have her living in a stable. You can have her living out. You can ride her in the indoor, the outdoor. You can ride her in the field, all so safely. Snaffle mouth. You can hack her out in company. You can hack her out alone. She's just easy. You can tack her up without tying her up. You can tie her up out the stable. You can leave her in the stable. She's just easy. She's just been so easy. And we obviously, you know, with all our horses, we can only speak from experience, but as I say, I've got a fantastic reference from her previous owner that backs up all of our findings. All of the videos are there. I couldn't lay it on a plate more for you all if I tried, to be honest. She's just spot on. She's up to date with everything. Worming, teeth, shoes, vaccinations, everything. Yeah, she's just divine. She absolutely is. So you've pretty much seen as much, probably more than you could ever see. We are 3 or 4 minutes away from the yard now. These horses are going to get a nice bath and a big hay net and a clean bed and a stable to relax. Rick's messed all down his back legs. The joys of having a grey. But I think both of these two riders, along with the horses, have earned their lunch now and a bit of a rest, without a doubt. Although I would say horses have been extremely comfortable and happy with their riders, and riders have been extremely comfortable and happy with their horses. Okay guys, this video is going to take a century to load up on YouTube, but there we have it. But by the time this is loaded, guys, what I said earlier about Rosie in the field possibly not being on YouTube yet, well, it absolutely will be, because in the time that I've pulled over waiting for them to catch up, I have actually posted that video. So it is currently uploading, unless YouTube pull it for any reason, which, you know, that can happen. If YouTube doesn't like something on it, or doesn't like the music, or whatever, it could be anything. So sometimes it causes me a bit of a nightmare, but hopefully it's fairly straightforward. And so just go onto our YouTube. In fact, I can see a notification actually, so I think it will be on there. If you go onto our YouTube and put CnG Rosie riding in the field, starts off with Nick just getting on, because she started off at the top yard, hacked round to the bottom yard, and then rode in the field. What you can't actually see in that video is the other horses are loose in the field at the same time. I think there's below, I think there was Mia, Jazz, there was a few anyway in the field, and she just hacked through those and rode. So that's pretty good. That's actually one of Nick's biggest fears. She hates it, hates riding in the field if the other horses are in. But Rosie was good as gold. So yeah, that should be live now on the YouTube. All right guys, thanks, and no doubt see you another day. We're here, finally. So both horses will just get a little wash off. We'll just show you Rosie. She'll go straight into the wash bay. You don't need to see Rick. I clocked it, you know, it's nearly 10 miles, Nick. Nick, if you didn't catch that, guys, on the camera, Nick just said her bottom is quite aware of the distance. Just fasten her on. You can just fasten the cross ties onto a bridle, Nick. So I just want you to just see Miss Rosie Posey.
Such a good girl.
She is a good girl. I don't know what's going on. And she's got a bit of a wild look and a mane.
She likes it.
Oh, they were really good though.
Really good.
So just show you guys that it's important as well, not just the riding, how they are in general. There you go. Nice shower off to make them comfortable. Very easy horse, guys. Okay, now for the God knows how long YouTube upload.